Namaste students, Anupam ma'am here. We are studying about insects, and in this chapter today we are going to study about useful insects. We have already studied about honeybee, that is very useful insect and it gives us honey. But how do we get honey from honeybee? Do you know? We have already studied that honeybee suck nectar from the flower and it carried them to the hive where they live. And a honey bee hive consists of many six-sided chambers called comb, and honeybees store the nectar in these combs, and the nectar changes into honey after some times. But how do we get honey from the beehive? So bee collector collect the honey, remove the hive and collect the honey stored in it. They do smoke and heat and drives the bee out of the hive and collect honey. And do you know what is the process of rearing and breeding of honeybee is called? The process of rearing and breeding of honeybee is called apiculture. Rearing, breeding of honeybee for collection of honey, because it is a business. They used to rear and breed the honeybee and collect honey and sell it in the market and earn money. So this is a business, apiculture. This is called apiculture. The process of rearing and breeding of honey for collection of honey is honeybee for collection of honey is called apiculture. So now we have studied, we know about honeybee. Now let's move to other insect that is also very useful for us, and that is called silk moth. Do you know what is silk moth? It's clear by its name only. Silk. It gives us silk. You can say silk moth or silk ward. And they live on mulberry tree. मलबरी मीन्स शहतूत. वो शहतूत के पेड़ पे रहते हैं एंड दे फीड ऑन मलबरी लीव्स, और मलबरी के पत्ते ही खाते हैं. एंड इट सिक्रीट्स अ लिक्विड विच चेंजेस इनटू अ फाइन थ्रेड, एंड दैट थ्रेड इज कॉल्ड सिल्क. द सिल्क मॉथ सिक्रीट्स अ लिक्विड दैट वीव्स अ कवर अराउंड इटसेल्फ विद दिस thread. You can see here the secreted liquid changes into thread and it covers around the silkworm, and this is called cocoon. This cover is called cocoon. You can easily identify the cocoon by this picture. The silk thread secreted by silkworm is covered around the silk moth and changes into thread, and this is called cocoon. And these cocoons are collected and silk thread is obtained from them. And the process of collecting or rearing silkworm for getting silk is called sericulture. The rearing of silkworm for getting silk is called sericulture. It is also a business. They used to rear and breed the silkworm on mulberry tree and get it silk from the silkworm and sell it out in the market. So the process, what is sericulture? The process of rearing and breeding of silkworm for getting silk is called sericulture. But what is the use of silk? Do you know? People used to make sari, suits and many other things with the help by these silk. So silk moth is very useful insect, and silk is very expensive fiber. Next is lac insect. Lac insects is also very useful because in this chapter we are studying about useful insects. So lac is also very useful. It usually grow on banyan tree. Banyan tree means bargad ka peड़. It usually grow on banyan tree, and it also secrete a semi-solid substance called lac, जिससे लाह की चूड़ियाँ बनती हैं. आपने अपने घर में देखा होगा लाह की चूड़ियाँ पहनते. So that lac, that is called lac, and that lac is obtained from lac insect. You can see in this picture it is used in paints, varnish, printing ink and for making bangles and many other things. You can see here the picture of bangles. So these bangles are made by lac, and that lac is obtained from lac insect. And where do lac insect live? Lac insects live on banyan tree. Now next useful insect is ladybird beetle. Its name is ladybird, but it's not a bird. It is an insect. But how do they help us? They help us by eating large number of pests that are harmful for plants, because these ladybirds live on plants and eat different pests. Pest means kire that are harmful for plants and harm the plants. So in this way they are very useful for us, and that is ladybird beetle. You can find these beetles in different colors. They are of green color, they are of red color, and many other, they are brown color. So there are many other color of ladybird beetle. It is very useful because they eat pests that are harmful for plants. So in useful insect, what we have studied today about honeybee. From honeybee we get honey. Other is silk moth. From silk moth we get silk to make sari and other things. So the rearing and breeding of honeybee is called apiculture, and rearing and breeding of silkworm for getting silk is called sericulture. Third is lac insect. We get lac from lac insect, and lac is used in paints, varnishes, printing ink and for making bangles and many other things. And last is ladybird. Ladybird eats large number of pests that are harmful for plants. So now we know about different types of insects that are useful for us. That's it for today. In next class we are going to study about harmful insects. Thank you. Have a nice day.